Travel around the world, and you will quickly learn that the precious resource of clean, safe tap water is not available to everyone. Here in Red Hook, we are fortunate. We have a local aquifer that provides us with high-quality, safe, and delicious water. However, we're wasting this precious resource by delivering it through a broken system that's in need of significant rebuilding. It is estimated that 40% of the water pumped through our Red Hook water system is wasted before it ever reaches our homes. Pipes are old, rusting, and leaking. The age of the system, the pipe materials, and the power of water all contribute to this tremendous loss. When you look at this rock, you can see how relentless water damage can be over time. The rock came out of the ground right here in Red Hook and was sitting on top of a water pipe. This hole in the rock was caused by a jet of water leaking from that pipe. Over many years, the rock was eroded, creating this hole. It is easy to see why there are so many leaks in our water system after 80 years of constant use.
When I came into office, we had in front of us some Department of Health, DOH is the acronym we'll use here, directives where Red Hook needed to upgrade for some specific reasons as far as capacity and safety of the water. And on top of that, many of our network of built-in underground water mains date back to 1937, which was the FDR era when people were building infrastructure. And here in New York and across the country, we all know that infrastructure is failing.
Village leadership received grants and loans to make these improvements possible so that Red Hook would have a modern water system. The well field was rehabilitated and upgraded to like-new condition, resulting in much higher yields in water. To improve the billing efficiency for water usage, the village installed new water meters that are monitored remotely. 30% of the old meters were not working at all, which led to lost revenue.
We reached out to multiple funding levels from New York State to federal and so forth, and we put together a package where we're upgrading our water system in 3 phases. The first phase is done. That involved about $1.242 million where we looked at our well pumping capacities and upgraded that world, drilled a new well, and then installed brand new radio read water meters on all our customers. The problem is, and still is, and that's why we're moving to phase 2, that we actually pump more water from the ground than we're selling at the meter. And one of our hunts is to try to find out where's that going. The implication is that we're losing it somewhere in our web, our infrastructure.
The village of Red Hook has started the next phase of the project. Construction crews have begun replacing 8-inch water mains in village streets, as well as pipe connections to each home. Roads will be widened to 20 feet with flush 4-inch concrete curbs. These curbs include water catch basins that will spread out storm water to prevent floods and will replenish the aquifer. There will be some inconveniences to residents as this last phase of construction is completed, since work crews are going to need access to your homes and properties.
So I understand what you're saying, but will my water be turned off?
Yes, at some point at your house in the course of the project, your water will be off. We specifically sat with the contractor. Our projection is an hour to an hour and a half on a given day that you will know about. It's not going to be a mystery. There are some points in time where when they tie the new mains into existing mains on 199 and Route 9, that particular area could be down about 4 hours off where those mains are directly tying in, but that's not the norm for everybody. It's more considered an hour and a half. Like I said, we're very aware of that. They would try to do that after morning shower sequences and time of day where it works, and you will know about it. They will knock on your door. You will be directly informed.
So what time of day do the work crews start and stop work?
Construction time of day, what we schedule with the contractor is it'll be through the spring and summer season, of course, more daylight and so forth. They're supposed to be working on the job 7 a.m. So that means crews will be riding in earlier than that to get set up at the staging area and come over to the neighborhood. They'll break around 3 p.m. The reason I'm saying around is if they're in the middle of a particular task where it needs another 15 or 20 minutes, they're going to finish the task, not just walk off at 3 and leave somebody A, without water, or B, without a properly accessible driveway and so forth. So for rule of thumb though, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
What's the work schedule on my street?
For more information about the scheduling and what streets will be worked on, my suggestion, my recommendation, we dealt with this. You can call Village Clerk 758-1081. They'll have the updated list. And what will also happen, like I mentioned earlier, was the contractor will actually be going to houses directly. We've stressed to them that they need to communicate with the public about this. So they will be, as they're coming into your specific part of the neighborhood, they will be knocking on your door, leaving notice if you're not there, and talking to you. And it's a small enough village where we want them, and they get the message that they need to interact with our people.
So about how long is this entire project going to take?
They're telling us that they will have all the main work done by November 2016. The only caveat is that's presuming they find what we think we're going to find. We do have, and there's no restriction on time, they could go longer if they have to, and they could go into the winter, but there will be certain work that will be the dress-up work occurring in the spring of 2017. So our projection is end of physical hard construction, end of November 2016, come back in spring of 17, touch up lawns and anything they need to touch up.
What if there's an emergency? How will the fire department or how will the ambulances get to my house?
Roads will not be physically impassable. What there'll be signs on the end of the roads that will say road closed, local traffic only, and what we're saying is that doesn't mean you can cut through our road. That means if you live on a road, you can get through to your house. But yeah, the contractors and everybody's fully aware that we do need to have access to fire companies.
So what about school buses? Are my kids going to be able to be picked up at the same place?
This quadrant, this neighborhood, the high school can be walked to, you walk to high school and the middle school, so it's 2/3 of our population walks from this neighborhood. So it's really the younger kids with the school buses, and the plan is to keep the roads open and passable for the school buses.
Who's going to repair my driveway and my landscape?
The goal is to do no damage, but there will be work done on what would be your property. By that I mean where our main is certainly, that's in our street, that's the municipal right-of-way, but then we have a lateral that runs to those little blue things you see in your lawn. That's the curb valve in water department talk. The curb valve is our property too, but then from the curb valve in is where you get your water into your house. They will be digging at the curb valve, which in most cases is in your lawn, and sometimes it's in your sidewalk, or sometimes it could be in your driveway, in a paved driveway. As part of the project, we will restore whatever surface they come against there.
And who's paying for this?
When we talk about funding and anything government does, just so everybody knows, Phase 2 is a $3.8 million project, and we've got funding through short-term funding through what's called EFC, that's the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, and then we will fund, once the project is done, we roll that over to a bond grant from USDA RD, that's United States Department of Agriculture - Rural Development. And it's at a relatively low interest rate, but it is money we have to pay back. We don't get free money for this project, we do have to pay it back. And you will note on the downside, we have made one rate increase already. We have another one planned to bring us up so we're able, when the project is done, to pay back the loan.
For additional information, call 518-376-7339 or the Village Hall at 845-758-1081. You can also visit the Village website at www.redhooknyvillage.org.
I'm really excited about this project. It's a good thing. We're improving infrastructure that's been in the ground since 1937. We know it's degraded, we know it's failing. We just can't see it, you and I, as we drive our streets and even turn on our water. We get water now. But we want to leave a legacy where we're protecting the aquifer, we're giving clean, safe water to everybody, we're doing it in the most affordable way, and it's something that'll last for another 40 to 100 years, depending on when the next mayor comes around to do the next one.